Hi, I'm Dr. Toren von Lahr, your host on Messenger. Thank you for watching Mind Hi, Ernie.
Hey, hi.
I'm Dr. Toren von Lahr. Welcome to Messenger. Now, Messenger is a television show that actually speaks to inspiration, empowerment, new age interest, experiences that we've had that actually got us where we are today, which is the subject that I wanted to broach with you. I've found in interviewing a lot of celebrities that they actually, from the early age, started having some sort of inspiration or guidance or experiences or things that led them to do this. They felt it was their path, or there was some sort of destiny there. Anything along those lines that you could share with us today?
Well, you know, I grew up in a very religious sort of setting, and even I don't consider myself very religious now. I do consider myself spiritual, and I do feel that there's divine guidance that is there for us. And I grew up in an environment, a very poor environment, not only not knowing what I'd be able to do, but just not having a lot of examples of the possibilities. But I think that I think you can turn to source, and I think you can ask for that help, and as it unfolds to you, if you have the courage to step into that space, and that's what happened with me. Never planning to go to college, but once that door opened.
You never planned to go to college, and you ended up going to Yale.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
yeah,
interesting.
True. Yeah.
You know, you mentioned something interesting, just to back up a few moments. There wasn't a lot of inspiration, you had said.
Right.
And somehow but something made you decide you wanted to be an actor. And by the way, your voice, I mean, that's when I first recognized you was in the movie Condo. The voice alone was like the character.
Oh,
it's like a presence all on its own. I'm surprised you weren't on radio.
Yeah, no, I think sounds do change the look. So a lot of the character in the Hand of Rocks and Cradle, that sound, your sound is so much a part of.
Oh, it's a signature piece for you, actually.
I think that's
So you had to find some sort of inspiration when you were younger, or some drive to actually be out there and be on stage, or to be another character or a role. Have you identified that at all? What made you make that decision to actually get in front of the camera, or to take on roles, or play scenes, or bring out dimensions in you?
I think, like I said, I think you can go to source, you can go to God, or whatever you want to call it. I don't, whatever you want to call it, but and ask for guidance. And
was there that spiritual drive when you were younger to do that?
Well, I think you want to do something.
You wanted to
for me,
yourself.
I wanted to do something. I wasn't sure. Yeah, I know that what I'm seeing is not something that I want to I don't want to say be stuck in, but I knew there was something more. And for me, working, especially when I got out of high school, I got married right away. My wife got pregnant, so possibilities seemed like they were getting more and more narrow. But I was looking for something that I could feel at home. So when I get asked a lot, says, well, you must really love acting. I go, I do love acting, but it was more a matter of me finding a place where I could fit in, where I felt I belonged,
where you belong,
and I felt
exactly.
that I could do. I did a lot of jobs until I found acting that I never really felt very effective.
Right.
In fact, I felt like they were probably going to fire me once they knew that I didn't know what I was doing. But when I came into the theater, in fact, the first time I came into a theater, I just felt at home.
You were overwhelmed. It was like a bigger world.
It was a bigger world, but more importantly, it was a world that I can do this.
Right.
When I did my first play, and I walked on stage, and I went like, God,
Ghostbusters.
just give me the chance to do this, and I'm good at it.
They are
This I can do.
They're mean.
I know. I believe this
Was it
is
like
where
a
I belong.
remembrance inside of you, like I might have done this before?
I think so. I think that's part of the, that's what it is. It's not so much learning as much as, we remember, we pull together and you walk into a space.
They catch the ghost that won't stay dead.
I don't doubt myself.
Using a little psychic sense, and such I would get that inside of you knew there were all these characters. There were all this information that you wanted to convey. There were all these stories you wanted to tell.
Yeah.
As if there were past lives and you wanted to relive them, not trying to take you down that path per se.
Sure.
But I'm saying, I think you're drawing from something that you wanted to actually represent.
I think so. I think
And
when
you may have been teaching yourself at the same time.
I think so. I think when you read a script, read a Hammer that guy speaks to you. Also, the writer.
The city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions.
Real wrath of God type
And they're all
stuff.
unique.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the sky. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together.
And so,
Mass
and
hysteria.
you
Your
can't do the
girlfriend
character in Oz
lives
the way
in the
you
corner
do the character in
penthouse.
Congo, because they're very,
The warden.
you know, the warden, yes, but they're very different people. They're very
Is this a
different.
trick question?
And they're all me, but they're all.
See, that's the point. They're all you.
Yeah, they're all you, and we're all each other. There is a oneness, there's a connectedness. So our lives go in many different directions, and have my life going in certain directions. And I would be a different person, but the same.
People are actually like diamonds, multifaceted beings.
These
But an
numbers,
actor
they
actually
can't be
gets to go
right.
through, be all those different
Trajectory.
facets.
That means it's
At
heading
least for a moment, you get to explore that. You get to explore what it feels like to be in another altered reality.
Have hit the ground in the
You know, my
western
son
United
always asks me,
States.
do you believe in altered reality, the other dimensions,
Other
other
dimensions
worlds
of
out there? And I go,
space,
well,
sure.
you know, I think my grandmother said that the kingdom of heaven
We have
was
a mass
given to
casualty
the son.
accident.
We're all the sons,
Right.
and we're all given the kingdom, and we all have dominion over the kingdom, but every person has a different kingdom. You are for your, and it looks the same, but yet it's very different. In your world, Martin Luther King
Right.
is this way. In my world, he's that way. So we're all have a unique, we don't have access to absolute truth, but we do have perception.
Perception.
And our perception colors.
You've also said something interesting there too. Most people tend to approach the life in the world as if they have to fit into it. And you're sort of saying that each of us actually has a world around us. We just have
absolutely.
to find that center stage, that stage light, so to speak, and start acting or playing out that role.
Yeah, you have to, well, that's, to me, it's ultimately the story of creation. I mean, you're either all of it, or you're barely this little bit of nothing in it.
Right.
So, and that's really where we, you know, if we own up to who we are, then we're all of it, we're part of it. It is all of us, and we, you know, we have dominion.
Right.
Or you say, well, that's what happened ultimately to Adam. Adam, who was walking through the kingdom and he had it all, and then one day he said, "Oh my God, I'm nothing. I'm afraid." And fear makes us that nothing, and you know, remembering makes us that all. So where do you want to be in that
Adam, the
space?
guy with the apple fetish.
That's right. Yeah.
Actually,
So-
creation was sort of that's sort of the midpoint of it when we pick it up in the Bible. But more esoterically, we would say that the existence has always been here. We've always been
Well, I think
evolving,
you-
and we're just in the middle of it right now. So to
If
speak.
you are, you always
That's
were.
right.
Yeah.
So, someone like you that's played so many roles, so many characters, actually got to explore all these dimensions in you, finding the real you. Now, you're speaking to an audience that must also be struggling to accomplish those things, finding themselves, right?
Right. Yeah.
But you find yourself trying to do that in a way you're empowering them, encouraging them to find that role they want to play in life, whether it's actor or something else, or to be who they are. And there must be something inside of us that sort of tells us we need to go in this direction, which may be why you stumbled onto the acting, right? You finally found that path.
Well, first off, I think it's important for people to realize you gotta let go. I mean, this identity that I am. You know, I believe I am forever, but I don't believe Ernie Hudson is forever. I believe in this particular dimension, I'm this, but this will fade away. So, but as Ernie Hudson, I try to figure it out. I can't figure it out.
Right.
So I gotta understand that.
Right.
I gotta understand that greater part of me
That's
will
right.
give me answers, and I gotta
Absolutely.
trust that answer.
Right.
But if I try to figure it out, I'm in trouble.
Right. And you've accomplished a lot. So when we get to that next stage, I imagine you're sort of going to hit the road running. But those audience members out there,
Right.
what can we say to them?
So
to
ultimately, I'm dealing with, if I'm all of it, I'm dealing with inclusiveness and I'm dealing with love.
Right.
If I'm none of it, then I'm dealing with fear and I'm separated from.
Right.
So I say go for the love, go for the thing that you enjoy, go for being happy, that's where you know that you're connected.
And is that answer inside of them? Is that answer inside of
I
us?
think it's always there.
We know it, right?
You know it, but do you trust it?
We trust it.
See,
Yeah.
fear keeps you from trusting, because what fear says is, you can't handle this,
Okay.
let me handle this.
So we have to be brave.
You gotta be brave
We have
and
to follow our
say,
instincts.
and own it, and
Own
say,
it.
you know what? And fear tells me that I shouldn't do this interview.
Right.
Love tells me, trust
Right.
that the greater good will come out of it. And so you do. You show up. Fear says, oh my God, you can never do that. When I first went into a theater, and then I thought, oh, this is the most amazing thing. Fear says, you can't do this. Love says,
Right.
God, the universe will show me how.
Can you approach life the same way you could approach a performance? Like if you're on stage, you're going to do a role, and I've done a little bit of that. Don't you have to sort of put your mind outside of your normal life and just get into that character and forget about the business that goes on in your normal life?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and can we approach life that way too?
I think so. I think that is called being in the moment.
That's right.
And the Christians say, the kingdom of heaven is found in now.
Right.
That's the only time we really have. When I'm on stage, I have to be in now. I have to engage now. I can't be thinking about what happened this morning, what's going to happen after. I got to be in this moment with you.
Right.
And when you're on stage, and so I did a play on Broadway a couple of years ago, and if you lose that concentration,
That's right.
it's not a good thing.
That's right.
It's very embarrassing. So you got to be in the moment. Well, in life, if we can be in the moment,
Right.
then the moment allows the possibility to come. Things that you can't imagine
Right.
are there. But when you're thinking from the past, you don't see. So opportunities just come by and leave, and you never even knew they were there. If you're thinking too far in the future, you're afraid, you're trying to control the now to set up what you just, if you can get to the moment, if you can get to being.
I think something changes right there.
Yeah.
See what you think. I think that if we get into that moment, like you're saying, and do the role and just get into it, I think by putting all those other things aside, inspiration reaches us.
It opens the door to the possibility.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just doing it. We're not thinking about it anymore.
Yeah.
We're not getting in our own way anymore.
Right. Yeah.
This has been an exciting interview, Ernie. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, my pleasure.
Welcome to
You know,
Messenger. Come back
thank you.
anytime. And
I
thank you for all
appreciate
the
it.
insight for all the audience members out there.
Well, thank you, and good luck, God bless, and everything that you're doing, all of you guys.
Thank you. You've been watching Messenger.